into a pit of infinite torches.
The puppet stands on the strings unseen. Your reflections infallible.
Sent you.
Behold, the first daughter of Rayclast. Why fight progress?
Let the blood dance begin. Temporal tears. Time to up the stakes. Twin terrors. Time to up the stakes. Time to tears. Oh, glorious spirit. Entertain me. Twin terrors. Time to up the stakes. Be healed and fight on. And yes, the void protects its children. Take this vitality balloon. Detonate a flare survival. How long will I be kept waiting? The prize piece comes to join.
Pain will be returned tenfold. Space lies. Behold my connection.
I will have what I want. Death will not be an escape. Scurry,
Minotaur must enjoy our contests, for it continues to play.
Greetings everyone, Redora here, and I wanted to talk about my Explosive Arrow Elementalist once again. So, I've been busy grinding out boss fragments and invitations, so I'll be doing Ubers later this week with this character, so look forward to that in a future video. And over this weekend, this character has made a significant jump in power with, some changes to the passive tree and also the acquisition of this beauty, Polaric Devastation. So I grinded out probably 50 or 60 Polaric Invitations total up to this point to try and get this ring from Blackstar, and I was kind of losing hope for a minute. I was thinking to myself, fuck, am I really gonna have to kill this dude 100 times to get this ring? But I finally got it yesterday. I was super happy. This was the one thing that I really needed to have this character break through to the next level and really have a gigantic boost in raw DPS. So yeah, this has been amazing to have, and it's allowed me to drop Infernal Cry too. So in place of that, I've put Steel Skin in there as another defensive layer. I didn't really know what else to put, so Steel Skin just seemed like something easy I could throw in to have a little bit more defenses. Other thing that changed is I got an Explosive Arrow Helm enchant. So this is the attack speed one and not the damage one. I feel like most people would prefer the damage one, as would I. But the attack speed one has been very good for me because I don't have a lot of attack speed on stuff like my jewels. So this has helped me with hitting the 20 fuse cap for Explosive Arrow. According to POB, I'm actually hitting 20 fuses, which has been amazing because yeah, each stage that you can manage to hit is a very big jump in damage for Explosive Arrows, so that's been really nice to have. And honestly, even if I got the 40 damage one at a later point, if I for some reason decided to keep running Labyrinth, I think I would still keep this one just because I've tailored parts of my gear and everything else to account for the 15% attack speed you get from this. So I'm probably just gonna keep it there. It's doing just fine. I'm happy with it. Okay, next up, passives. And then before I get into what I did with the Ascendancy, as some of you may or may not have already noticed, I need to talk about the Cluster Jewel that changed quite a bit. So I was trying to get an 8 passive fire damage large cluster, and while I was doing that, I was actually rolling this bow damage cluster instead to see if I could get something that I could use instead of the fire damage one, because I was starting to get a little bit impatient. And yeah, it actually turned out pretty well. I got 2 notables that I was happy with to show up in the front, and that's another thing that I had to think about this time around. Whereas with when I was doing the cluster jewel setup for my fire trapper, I didn't really think about the position that the notables appear in, so I had to actually kind of look and see, Tempered Arrowheads is in the first position, so it ends up here. Broadside, which is the one that I don't really care about, shows up in the back because it's in the second position. And then finally we have Martial Prowess showing up here. So that was something I kind of had to pay attention to this time. It was another learning experience for me, and I can kind of see why Cluster Jewels are a pain to roll, because even if you get some of the notables that you want, you may want certain ones to appear in different positions of the wheel. But yeah, it ended up like this, and I'm very happy with these 2 notables, so I've been rocking this instead, and it's been doing great. So because I got the 8 passive Cluster Jewel setup in, that allowed me to free up 3 skill points. So I was thinking about what I should do with them to really get even more damage out on my build. And the first idea that I had was to get this Mana Mastery right here and get the 12% Mana Reservation Efficiency, and that way if I were to drop Defiance Banner, then I could pull off running Skitterbots for free chill and shock on everything, which would be amazing. Even though dropping Defiance Banner isn't something that I would really like to have done. It still would be worth it to just get the chill and shock on everything. But then I had a better idea, which was to actually put it into this elemental damage wheel right here for Ash, Frost, and Storm. And the reason I did that is because I made changes to the Ascendancy nodes as well. So I've dropped Bastion of Elements. And I think I may have said this before, but I don't think Bastion of Elements is that amazing. Like, it's definitely not bad. The elemental damage shield could definitely save you, and not having to worry about Reflect is very convenient, but just as far as like other Ascendancy nodes go that I've seen, I don't feel like this really like brings quite as much value to the table. It's more like you kind of just get this because, you know, you don't really have any other decent options that would make sense for the build. But what I decided to do instead was to put into Shaper of Storms so that now my explosive arrows are constantly applying shock all the time. And because I have the boost to non-damaging ailments here from Ash, Frost, and Storm, I'm now applying, usually it's like a 25-26% shock on everything, which is really nice. It's actually a lot higher than I expected. So being able to get that without really sacrificing too much defenses, and also this way I can keep Defiance Banner, which is great. So I feel like this way I've been able to get the best of both worlds as far as like increasing my damage while being able to maintain my character's tankiness. Other thing is that I have where is it? Right here. I have Awaken Elemental Damage with attacks, which I got from, I forgot, some Maven invitation or something. But I didn't realize that this protected you from reflected damage from the supported skill. I don't know, I just never read that line of the support gem, but I just read that and I was like, okay, so even if I drop Bastion of Elements, I'm really like not losing that much, so that's great. So yeah, this is pretty much the setup that I've landed on, and again, it's been also enabled by the mana reservation efficiency granted by Replica Dragonfang Flight, which has been absolutely incredible. Like, the plus 3 to, you know, your damage skill is amazing, but I also didn't really like, I couldn't really grasp right away how powerful it is to just get, you know, free mana reservation efficiency from this thing, especially if it rolls higher too. It can make a really big difference for squeezing in like another aura, which can be very impactful indeed. And yeah, I think that's like pretty much it to talk about. Yeah, this character's damage has basically doubled since the last video, so I'm extremely happy with where I've gotten to on this build. I really didn't expect to get this strong. I'm easily hitting the dot cap. I mean, I've well surpassed it actually for Guardians and Pinnacle bosses. So yeah, I'm interested to see how much more quickly I can kill Ubers with this character, so I'll be looking forward to that later on this week. And yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you very much if you've been watching this. If you liked this video or any of my other content, please consider subscribing or visiting me on Twitch to help me out. And yeah, thank you and have a good one.